All right, that's as good as it's going to get. We're going to quit worrying about it. All right, I want to talk to you a little bit about about what you do when you're quarantined, right? I mean, you got to stay active. And what the name of the show is engage. And the reason why we talk about engage is because nothing happens in life without engagement. You have to engage. Now, the playing field's changed a little bit on how you should engage. Okay. Back in the old days, right, we would prospect, maybe hand out mailers, like do mailers or hand out flyers, do inserts, any of that stuff, right? So nowadays, there's different ways to engage that are much more effective. Give you an example, main print, radio, and TV died a few years back, right? And it's effective sometimes in certain markets, but it's not as effective as it once was. It was a staple for a long time. And I always kind of like to think outside the box a little bit. I always liked, doing direct mail. I had, with like key mailers and stuff. That was me. So if you've received them, I'm not doing them all, but I did a lot of them. Okay. But we also engage with, you engage with RVMs, ringless voicemail, right? Ringless voicemail works very well. They're starting to regulate that a little bit, but RVMs. But what absolutely is the best way to engage, hands down, is text messaging. Everything's going to mobile phone. Like even when I trade on like buy options in stock, I prefer the app on my phone more than using even the desktop. Even though the desktop normally is more robust, the apps tend to be a little bit lighter. What's up, Michael Taggart? Good to see you, buddy. I miss you, bro. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming by. Talking about engagement, man. I'd love to have you on here one day, if you get a chance, by the way. But you got to learn how to engage. All right. Now, even email keeps a warm, dialogue between a list of people. See, one thing that I learned that blew me away, right? And this might seem common to some folks, but not to others, is the scale and the reach of the internet. I mean, the reach is insane, right? The scale is even sicker, right? First time I dropped a course with my buddy, my mentor that helped me, we sold several hundred people in Australia, right? I would have never been able to get in front of those people, with my past thinking. Right now, I want to ask you, I don't list in the comment box what exactly what kind of business are you in? It'll help me out a little bit. What kind of business are you in? Scale is even sicker, right? First time I dropped a course with my buddy. I'm checking comments real quick. Hold on. We sold several hundred people in Australia, right? Tell me what kind of business are you in, so we can relate. Used cars. Hey, Albert, how you doing? I was in used cars for quite a long time. I think I'm always in used cars. I've always got a couple cars I'm flipping at all times. How are you engaging with your customers? The days of sitting on the lot waiting on somebody to come by is kind of done. You got to start branding yourself. And I've got some really sexy stuff coming out in the. Hey, Gianni, G, what's up, buddy? I got some sexy stuff coming out for car business, by the way. I got individual salesmen's websites with full follow-up done for them. It's coming. So let me know when you're ready. I'll let you know when I'm ready. SEO. Okay, good. Not just SEO. See, the thing about SEO is that one, SEO is still very powerful. However, it's shifting, it's pivoting also. You need to start looking at VEO, voice engine optimization, because eventually even the cars are not going to have DVDs or, your traditional radio in them. And they're going to search you by, hey, Alexa, pull up Sid Michael, for instance, right? And that's the way they're going to look for you. So SEO is even kind of something that's not quite as strong anymore, but it's still very important. And then again, somebody can trump you if they want to do PPC and get in front of you too, right? So SEO is the long-term play, and organically it pays off in the long run. Hardest part about being on my side, hey Kelly Miller, hey Jason Fox. The hardest part about being on my side is that when you do help somebody SEO and you get them ranked really well, then all of a sudden they think they don't need to pay you anymore. There's tricks we can talk about on that. What other industries are we? Used cars. What else? Anybody in local digital? What other kind of business? Jason, I know you were a fireman. What are you doing? You got a hustle going on? You remember when we'd call our buddies, like you had your hustle buddies, you'd call them and be like, dude, what do you got going on? Oh man, you're not gonna believe this. I've got this call center out of India that's got debt settlement leads or whatever, right? And so you would always call your hustle buddies. Well, that's what we're doing with Engage, this show right here. I want everybody to come here with their hustle buddies, their hustle ideas, and let's talk business. Tell me what industry you're in, please. Go ahead and just type it in the chat box. It'll make it a lot easier. And that way I can help you figure out ways to get engaged. All right, while we're waiting on that, how many of you, and it's funny because I didn't really read a lot of books or educate myself very much in high school. Ironically, the girls' paper I used to copy is on the call. But I would rarely, read books. I think the first book I read was like Motley Crue, Nikki Sixx's Diaries, right? I think I was almost 30 years old. I just didn't read it. It didn't interest me. I didn't care about The Tale of Two Cities. I did love To Kill a Mockingbird, but it didn't interest me. I love to read now. How many of you are reading a book right now? Anybody got a good book they're reading? I'm going to tell you one. It's the best book I've read in 3 years. Chris Voss, Don't Split the Difference. Anybody seen that book? Anybody? What's up, Trippy? Anyone? Dude, it is absolutely a phenomenal book. I'll tell you why. The guy was he was actually like a beat cop, but he became a hostage negotiator. And in the book, he talks about how he actually went to Harvard. They invited him there to debate with the Harvard debate team, right? And with the debate team, they went in there and they did some kind of contest where, like, basically you had to talk them out of their $5, right? And at the end, none of them had money, and he had all of it. And they were like, "What?" And so they wanted to meet him and see how he did it. And he said, "Well, in my negotiations, you can't make the same mistakes you guys are making. If I make a mistake, what's up, Todd Friedman? I want you on here one day, man. So pick a day, pick a Thursday." So they said, "How you doing?" He said, "Dude, when I negotiate for lives. I can't make mistakes." But what's so cool about what he talks about, one, as he brings up like issues or things that are going on, you remember what he's talking about. He was the negotiator. He was an international hostage negotiator, right? Only one in the world. And he also, when he starts referring on how to negotiate, he refers to when he bought his 4Runner. So we all like to negotiate our cars better, right? If you don't, you call me and I do it for you. I've negotiated a lot of cars deals for people. What's up, Bradley? But one thing that you got to be doing right now, because you got a little bit of extra time on your hands, always do yourself a favor and get a book. Read something, right? Another great book right here that I've been periodically reading. Anybody know what that book is? How many people know who that is? Yeah, it is a great book, Todd. Did you read it? Did I tell you about it, or did you find it before without me? Man, I've been raving about it. It's like the guy that pitches the MLM every second. Did you like how when he was talking about sharing his or buying his 4Runner? It's just cool, man. I loved it. But yeah, The Ultimate Sales Letter by Dan Kennedy, probably one of the best copywriters known to man. I never really appreciated copywriting. I don't have the patience for it sometimes. I can talk and sell and whatnot, but I can't write in the copy. I want to get through it as fast as possible. It's something I struggle with, but I do learn it because it's important. What's something else? What's some of the things y'all are doing with this free time? What are you doing since you got some free time? You've had enough free time now that you think you're probably getting bored, right? Todd, are y'all staying inside in New York? Still look crazy there? Yeah. Yeah, that dude, it was learning new software. He's reading. Good. See, you're smart, Todd. What's the last book you read? Anybody? Tell me what the last book you read was. I leaned back in my chair. My dog's behind me. What's the last book you read? Anybody? I'll tell you one of the most powerful books that I read first when dealing with people and engagement. 80-20. I remember you saying you were reading that. How many? You hate to get caught with a title because it looks cheesy, but it's not. It was actually written back in the 30s by Dale Carnegie. How to Win Friends and Influence People. There's a major rule that he teaches in that book that I live by every day, and I swear I think I'm the only one that's aware of it because I see people step on themselves all the time not doing this. The rule is if you win the argument, you lose the deal. Some of you need to be told that with your spouses. Yeah. Yeah. Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you've not read that book, I mean, it's a staple. You have to, absolutely have to. This screen's killing me, so I'm going to try and fix it again. Make it worse, make it better. Made myself disappear. It's driving me nuts. This ain't no go-to webinar. A lot less expensive too. But it being so finicky like this, man, it ain't worth it to me. I don't like this at all. Oh, my head's missing. Hold on. Just this light. I'm about to start a fire over here with all these lights. I'm like gleaming from so much light. All right. Well, that's as good as it's going to get. So that's where we got to go. How many of so make sure that you read a book. Also, how many of you, I wanted to ask this question, and I don't know if I can get responses out of it. How many of you are selling something right now via the internet? Is anybody monetizing via digitally in any shape or form? Give you a second to answer that. Via the internet. Is anybody monetizing? As good as it's going to get. Is that close? How many of you are monetizing via the internet? How many of you can see the value of monetizing via the internet right now, where maybe before nobody really thought about it? I mean, you know how many people, hey, Vincent, what's going on, buddy? You know how many people I know that started out, maybe in high school or college, made honors 4.0, 4.1, whatever, got out of college, started life because life happens. Maybe a mom, I mean, that's a full-time job alone, plus, going to work and never really paid attention to social media, never even worried about it. Right. Like for long, I mean, I remember like when MySpace first came out, I thought that's where girls went to cheat on their boyfriends. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't want anything to do with that. You know what I mean? And a lot of them didn't really kind of keep up with the internet or with social media. And then all of a sudden now they're being, they're struggling, or their interns whipping them in sales numbers because they understand, that generation understands the power of social media. My, when I was growing up, it was the phone, you wanted to call on the phone, but like, I know guys younger than me that had like AOL chat. They didn't need no phone or any phone line. It was all about AOL chat, and that's why they always have the cool gifts and stuff like that, right? We didn't really pay attention to that. Well, guess what? Life's moving without us, so you definitely need to learn and understand. And if you have any questions on about the social media or something, ask somebody younger. And the younger you go, the more they're going to know. straight up. And Facebook, we've all kind of acquired it and started using it, and it's kind of became the norm or the staple. But for the younger, under like the millennial younger, nah, they don't even care about Facebook. Facebook's for old people. This is the old folks home here. They're all about TikTok, and even Instagram's a little bit more appealing to them than Facebook, right? So if no matter what business you're in or what you're doing right now, nobody would tell me what industry they're in. I don't know why, but it's okay. No matter what it is, I want to tell you that what's between your two ears is worth money. Fact. If you're even just okay at something, you don't even have to be great. There's somebody looking for that information. And let me ask you something. If you were going to open a restaurant, would you want to go to college and have a, management, restaurant, hospitality degree? Or would you rather, hey, what's up, Richie Bello? Good to see you, buddy. Miss you, man. But would you rather have somebody that's owned a restaurant for 4 or 5 years or 10 years and that put together a course on all the pitfalls to help you open a restaurant and not make the same mistakes they made? Think about it. Who would you buy? What would you buy first? Right? Who would you hire? Would you hire the guy who's had a restaurant for 10 years and can show you the ins and outs, or even buy a course from them? Right? Or hire somebody that went through the some college curriculum, not putting down the degree. I know they're hard to get, and I honor that. That's cool. But I mean, who are you? Who would you hire with your money, with your dollars? Life's changing. Everything's changing. Education is changing. Everything is changing. And the educational system is a dinosaur. A lot of the curriculum is, 50 years old. So you got to start educating yourself better and get a lot better information about it, right? Now, how many people use YouTube? Right? I do. A lot of it you can find for free. You don't have to necessarily pay for stuff all the time. And I would recommend looking for something free at first and see if you can get a grasp on it. But to know the ins and outs, I'm talking about like when we would hire a new sales guy, right? And they tell them all the stuff they got to do and what they're doing. What's up, Samantha? Good to see you. When they hire you, all right, I would always call them in my office, go, hey, shut the door. Come here. Let me talk to you. Let me be real. Here's really what you got to know and what you got to do. And don't get caught doing this. Be the first one in, the last one to leave. You can come in an hour late and leave 5 hours after everybody else leaves. You're the laziest son of a gun there. You come in 30 minutes early and leave early. You're the hardest working man there. So that's corporate America. That's where we're at. That's where we're sitting right now. Take it easy, buddy. But that's real, right? So you definitely want somebody with some experience. Now think about it. It doesn't matter if we're talking about cross stitching, if we're talking about webinars, if we're talking about how to coach, if we're talking about baseball, talking about a better way to paint, anything, how to make a potato gun. One of the most successful marketers that I know started out selling how to build a potato gun. I did a course on called Quick Cash Flipper on how to flip cars because I flipped a ton of cars on Craigslist, right? And there was another course right there next to mine on Google for like $12. I sold mine for $497, but there was one for $12. And I went through it. It was actually pretty good. You could tell the guy never flipped a car in his life, but he built a nice course. I mean, it was mine. It's like dog whisper language. Like only what only people that are listening to me and up to date know what I'm talking about. Other than that, I sound like I'm whispering to a dog, right? That's what they call it. In fact, that's what Dan Kennedy calls it, right? Some people get my emails and they're like, what are you talking about? Oh, you didn't get the 2 emails before, so you probably don't know what I'm talking about, right? I always assume everybody listens to what you say, right? So understand social media, very important. Anything mobile, very important. Make sure you engage, all right, with your customers and clients, whether you're a manager or a salesman or whatever. The prospecting is the name of the game. Okay. See, that's where like car guys, I'll tell you this, car guys, great guys. They, I mean, I trust them because I've been around them all my life. Right. Even though it comes with a bad stigma, which drives me nuts, but, they're good guys, but I gotta be honest, in the real sales game, credit card I was looking for, in the real sales game, they don't learn to prospect well. That's why they're struggling right now. They're used to sitting on the lot, waiting until customers come up. And that doesn't really happen as much anymore. Most people have seen the car, looked at it, know all about the car. When they come in, 85% of them know what they're already going to buy. The only thing you can do, most car salesmen do, is probably talk them out of buying, right? Which is a shame, but that's the truth. So, the game has changed, and you have to know how. You have to learn how to prospect better in any business, even whether you're managing the business or if you're in sales or if you have salespeople. You got to figure out a way to engage customers and to get with them. And I'm going to tell you right now, straight up, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do, what you act like. There's a lot of like fake gurus and stuff. They always get discovered. You cannot, like when you go on the internet and you start putting yourself out there, which, obviously I did. A lot of you have known me since high school, so I'm using my real name. I'm not using, Sid Money or Sid Bookie or whatever, whatever you want to call me, but I'm using my real name. You got to be 100% real. Like you can't hide nothing, because there's some people are just Columbos, man. They will dig through your underwear drawer and find all kinds of stuff about you. And it's just the way it is. I'm used to it because I've been doing this for several years now. Like I don't do anything that I wouldn't admit. And even that's why I'm not afraid to be embarrassed, because I do embarrassing shit. I'm human. I do stuff that most people would die if they knew it was public, but it's going to get public anyway. So I have to be open about it. What? We're not in the tree of trust anymore? I'm just playing. But anyways, so how many of you got a social media page? How many of you would like to make some side hustle money? And then I'm going to tell you one for those of you that would like to make some money. I'm going to tell you something that me and a friend did for about a year and a half when I first started out, and it made money, and it makes money today. So if you have a wife or somebody that has a few hours a day that they could do some, or a husband that can do some stuff on the side, wants to make a little extra spending cash, or you ladies, if y'all or men, if y'all want to make some rat back money, is what my mom called it. She'd rat back money, so she had some extra money. I'm going to show you a very simple way to do it on eBay. eBay is easy. Do me a favor, share this post on your page, or give me a like. And if we get enough shares and enough likes, I'll show you a way that any one of you right now, we averaged about 800 a week, I guess. We were making like 200 a day, 200 a day using eBay. And I'll tell you how to do it. It's very, very, very simple. It's so simple. It's crazy. Now, eventually you do kind of run scarce on your product, and we were driving like 3 hours to get it, but it's okay. All right. So here's what we're doing on eBay. Ready? It used to not be as bad. Now, when you go, you'll see a lot of people scanning, right? But on eBay, are you familiar with the Ralph Lauren just polo shirt with the little horse right there, the polo horse? Everybody's familiar with that? Has to be Ralph Lauren. Can't be Chaps. Can't be. I mean, you can, but they just don't bring as much money. But the Ralph Lauren polo shirt, everybody knows what I'm talking about. Some of them, and I always try to steer clear from the ones that had the embroidered, country club on the sleeve or on the chest there. I try to get just plain ones, but I know people that collect the country clubs too. So really, I probably missed some business by not buying those. Right? If you go to any Goodwill, any of them, they're going to be $2.97. That's what a shirt. Now you can try other brands, Perry Ellis, DNKY, I don't know, whatever other brands, American Eagle or whatever, right? Like this one's a Robert Graham, I think, but it's yeah. But anyways, any kind of, even like this Robert Graham, they're very expensive, but they're it's better to do Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren is the Rolex of the world. It literally is currency no matter where you go. Okay. All right. So write down these notes because I can't share my screen. I guess I could have, but I didn't know how to do it. I can barely get the camera to work. But so with eBay, you've got a $2.97 shirt. Okay. You can run what's called you can run a 5, 7, 10, or 14-day auction. You're going to run 7s. All right. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to a Goodwill, and let's say you spend $30 and you get 10 shirts. Okay. And you're going to take a picture of them. Make sure you iron them. The guy I did it with wouldn't iron them. I can't believe they brought any money with the way he wouldn't iron them. But make sure you iron them. They got to be clean. Can't have stains on them. They got to look pretty new. They got to look like half my clothes. Probably still have tags in them, right? I have to purge my closet about twice a year. But you take one of those shirts and you post it not only on the United States eBay, you also post it in the European eBay. And you want to list it no minimum, right? It's going to sell, and you want to list it for a penny. Do you know why you want to list it for a penny? What if it sells for a penny, Sid? I hope it does. Anybody know why you want to start doing it for a penny? I'll tell you why. Because if you ever bid on an item in eBay, it does all the follow-up for you. It'll remind them, hey, you bid on this item, you're going to get beat, blah, 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 da, 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 da. It's going to sit there and do 100 emails to them a day and bombard them and tell them, right? You're not looking like the jerk eBay is, which they know because they bid on stuff, right? So that when you put it at a penny, yeah, you don't want people to buy it at a penny. But I'm going to show you a way to protect you. But the reason why you do it at a penny is so that way there'll be people that like, shit, I'm not even interested in that shirt, but I'd buy it for a penny, right? And before you know it, that guy was your buyer. Okay. So here's how you protect yourself. You ready? It's going to cost you in the United States. It'll cost you about $3 to $4 tops to mail, snail mail, right? And you've got $2.97 on it, in it because you bought it from the Goodwill. So $2.97 plus $3 to $4. Let's just say $3 to be safe. You're going to have a total cost of $7.97. So if it sells at a penny, you're still making $3 because I would charge $11.99 shipping and handling. All right. Cover your costs with the shipping and handling. Make sense? So your reserve is actually your shipping and handling. Your shipping and handling should be about 150 to 200% of the cost of the shirt and the postage. Now, the reason why you want to post one in Europe and one in the United States is because certain ones will take off in Europe. And if you cancel the auction 3 days before the end of the 7 days, you get charged no fees, you pay nothing. So you post them both and both on both sites, day one. After 3 days, you look at which ones get the most traction, which one caught a gear, and you cancel the other ad. So that way you can go after the best one. And on average, we average between $12 and $25 a shirt. They all brought like high teens, straight up. If very rarely did one only bring a penny or $1 or whatever. And if they did, I didn't care because my shipping and handling covered my cost and made money. The second somebody bid on one, we made money. Okay. I'll tell you what else I did. You know those like gummy bracelets that you see people wearing all the time? They get from like events and stuff. I had a page, and I have a lot of Facebook pages. I've got ones of weight loss, juicing, Georgia Bulldogs. I had one that was called Happy, Happy, Happy. It was for Duck Dynasty, and it ended up getting shut down. I think maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I paid a guy to run the page and keep content on it, and I found out he sold a bunch of shirts and never sent them. So it could have been from that. I don't know. But at its height, I had 125,000 people following it. I had one post get shared. This is no joke, 16 million times. Total viral, man. If I knew now what I knew, if I knew then what I know now, I would have made 300 grand off that post. But unfortunately, I didn't. But the little bracelets, we didn't want to do copyright infringement, so we got like green ones that were camouflage, and we got pink camouflage ones, and they said happy, happy, happy around it, right? And we sold them, same thing, 99 cents, $5 shipping and handling. So we're making 400%. And we actually figured out a way that we wrapped them in saran wrap where they would fit into an envelope and we could mail them with a stamp because they wouldn't weigh over the ounce or whatever that makes it higher postage. And by them being thin, it would go through the Merlin, which is the sorter that the mail house uses or the post office. And so we were able to, like, cost was 66 cents and a stamp, was 50 something cent, right? So our cost was less than $1 at 99 cents. We're actually selling less than what our true cost was, but with the shipping and handling, that's where our money was made. That's where our profit was made. Make sense? How many people understand breakage? When you sell things less than the cost, you'll get some action. That's a fact. And when you understand breakage, that's when you can make some big money. I'll give you examples one day later, another time. All right. So, anyways, we were making about 400 a day with those bracelets. See, what you gotta like consider and think about. I had a buddy who actually got me into Facebook doing that stuff. Who had a pit bull page, right? It was all pit bull lovers. I don't know about you. I mean, I like every post I see that has an animal. I like. I click like on it or love if it's a good friend or a cute dog, right? I'll click on a dog's picture before I click on a kid's picture, right? Honestly. There's in myself, if I don't have anything good to say, if my head's in the gutter, I just post a picture of Kramer. He's way more, it gets way more attention than I ever would. he gets tons of likes, right? So the reason why I bring this up is his Pitbull page had 2 million followers, and it was very active, and it was very tied in. And he would use like Teespring or whatever to sell stickers. I love my Pitbull type stickers, right? No copyright infringement. It's just Pitbulls in general. And he sold the stickers for $3. And he only closed 1%. Not very good. 1%. But do the math. How many people know how much money that generated? That one post. $3, 2 million people, 1%. 60,000. 60,000 is what he made off this posting his bumper sticker. By the way, he didn't have to inventory that sticker because there's websites now, there's companies. In fact, he owns one called Gear Bubble that will print to order T-shirts and stickers and any of that kind of stuff that you want. So you don't have to, there's no more going out and getting pre-orders, going out and selling everybody, and then they order it. It literally, like the second somebody goes to one of these sites, they could buy one of your shirts and it's going to print it for them, mail it to them, and then put affiliate commissions into your checking account. You never even own the shirt. You just had to create the design. And if you don't know how to create it, you can always get somebody on Fiverr or get somebody who does know graphic design. I personally self-taught myself graphic design because of the pricing you end up paying, right? So I design a lot of my stuff, all my graphics I design, all those logos, everything I design, right? So right now you could have a specialized niche on Facebook, like I've got Doomsday Preppers World or something like that. It blew up here in the last few months with all the cojones virus, but the COVID, right? I didn't even want to mention that word in this. I wanted us to have 30 minutes with not saying any of it. But you can go in and you can create, certain like, witty shirts with certain sayings that'll take off. How many people have seen the it says "fuck ISIS" in like Arabic and it has the American flag right here? That guy sold 60,000 of those shirts the first month. Yeah. So it never owned one. They were all made to order. No more inventory tax, no more inventory, no more warehousing, no more supply and demand issues. It can all be printed at will. You could start a store today, right now, and start making some money. You just got to get traffic. And he who controls the traffic controls the gold. Okay. That's when you start talking SEO and VEO and pay-per-click and pay-per-call and AdSense and all that stuff. Okay. How many people understood what I was talking about with the Ralph Lauren shirt? I want to promise to give you all a hustle. You could make money right now today. Anybody have any questions about it? Send me a private PM. I'll help anybody that has questions about it. It straight up works. If your significant other's not bringing in any income and you'd like for them to, or they need a little bit of a little bit of cash or have something to do, women love it. I love it because it's you go shopping, you get paid to shop. It's at the Goodwill, but you're shopping, and the more you shop, the more money you make. So that's fun. Don't sway from the Ralph Lauren shirt. I'm telling you, just stick to that and just wear it out, and I guarantee you that'll work. Could you $800 a week? That's $40,000 a year. Who could use an extra $40,000 a year, working a couple hours a month or a week? Anybody? Make sure you share this or share it with somebody who might need to engage or learn anything we talked about. I appreciate every one of you for showing up and coming and seeing me. Thank you so much. And I don't want to. We've been almost an hour now. I don't want to take too much time. I like to keep content short, and that way it's easier to pay attention. But thank you so much. I appreciate you and love you all. Hey, share this with somebody who needs it or somebody could use it and could use some positive messages. We're not going to be doom and gloom here. We're going to talk about engage and be sunshines and rainbows, baby. Thank you so much. Rock and roll. See you guys.